Hello, Virgo. This is your week ahead tarot card reading by Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It's a message for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. And this is an energy reading, so please take it where and how it resonates in your life. This is your message. And if you're not a Virgo, but this has popped up on your feed, it is absolutely your message. Because at heart, it's an energy reading. So you're going to call into the messages that you need to hear exactly when you need to hear them. And this is where your message begins. Plus this one. So let's talk about it. Sometimes I need a second. The first thing that popped out, Taurus. If you have a Taurus in your life, they might want to begin again, but it will be a difficult or challenging situation, and it will feel more burdensome than it's worth. On some level, you already know that. That's only for those of you who are, sip of coffee, please, involved specifically with a Taurus. Now, there's others of you who may be making something official or committing in some way. Could be marriage. Could be if you're married or your partner wants to start again, but then there's still 10 of Wands. It's interesting that the 10 of Wands shows up, because I think on some level you know that there's something that you think you want, but the reality of it is it's going to be way more work than it's worth. It's going to be an energy of overburdening yourself or taking too much on. Okay, this is what I just thought of. Tell me if you guys have heard of it. It's a little show called Friends. It's popular, right? And if you haven't heard of it, then you can Google it. Specifically this scene. Google Friends, 18 pages front and back. Google that. Because this is what it looks like to me. You have a chance to begin again. You have a chance to make this commitment. But on some level, you know it's going to be a burden. It's going to be, it feels like in order to get this chance or get this opportunity, there's a long way to go, right? And there's this really famous scene from Friends where Ross and Rachel have broken up and Rachel blames Ross. Whether you think he did or didn't, they were on a break, right? The whole thing. And then there's this time after that first breakup where they consider getting back together. But she writes this long, drawn-out, handwritten letter to him and says, "Here, read it." And he just couldn't get through it because it was so long-winded, and all it ever was her blaming him and asking him to take full responsibility for why their relationship failed. And it was 18 pages front and back. For those of you who aren't so good at math, that is 36 pages, a 36 page long note. Okay? And that's what this is. There's something here that's honestly, in order to win it over or make it into what it could be, there's a long way to go. There's a real huge burden that you're taking on yourself. And on some level, you know that in order to do this, in order to make it work, it's going to take you putting in overtime. Nothing here says don't do it. It's just an acknowledgement that you are correct. It's going to be a burden in order to do it. And when I say burden, I do mean burden. I mean that you've got a lot going on, and this is going to overwhelm you. This is going to put a lot on your back. And on some level, you know it. On some level, you know that to have this beginning or have this chance, it doesn't have to be a relationship. I know I give that example, but it doesn't have to be a relationship. This could be with work. This could be, that in order to, some people are small business owners. In order to get this launched, in order to get this project debuted, or in order to get this business up and running and profitable, you're going to have to work overtime. Now that's okay, right? It's almost like in some ways you've prepped yourself for this. You've prepped yourself. You know that there's a period of time when it's just like, I got to do the hard work. I got to do the tough stuff. You don't get to the good stuff without doing the tough stuff. And I've got to commit myself to doing the tough stuff. So what this is right now is an acknowledgement that on some level, you know, the universe is trying to say to you, commit yourself to doing the tough stuff. Now, the hope would be that the universe is asking you to do this because it's also hinting at you that it's going to be worth it. Well, let's see. Because like I said, I don't see any qualifiers here. I don't see any qualifiers good or bad. So we're going to see like what is the outcome of committing yourself to this. All this is an acknowledgement of is that you are correct. It is going to be tough. Is it going to be worth it? Right now it looks yes. It does actually have that energy of almost, but it's like your own decision that it's going to be worth it, that you're going to get out of this what you want to get out of this, right? But it is going to be tough. It is going to be tough. And it may be with the 10 of Wands a little bit tougher than you've predicted, than you think. Like it's already the universe kisses come here. It's already the universe chiming in and saying, you're going to have to work harder than you think you're going to have to work. You may not have been prepared for all of this or the actual effect that it's going to have on you when you're in the thick of it. So the universe kind of wants to let you know that. Is this going to be worth it? Honestly, a simple yes or no will do. Well, that would be yes, coming out in the future. A sense of competence, a sense of achievement, a sense of validation and authority, as well as people seeing you as reliable and consistent, bringing you to the level of queen. In other words, what this is saying is all this burden will get to a place where you can be very manageable. Well, it will be very manageable and you will have it underhand. It won't keep overwhelming you. So that's confirmation. It's just overwhelming you for right now. Happy birthday, Michelle Sandygate. It's not going to overwhelm you forever. This is something that you're going to get because this is Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. So this to me would represent you is you will be able to manage this. Eventually you'll get this to a place where things are very manageable. This could be by Virgo season. So it could be a couple days out, like a couple months out. That's okay. Because like we all know, right? It's not instantaneous gratification. That's not what we're here for. So right now it looks like the cards are saying, dig in, Virgo, dig in. Because this trouble, whatever this trouble, it's not trouble, these tasks, these burdens may seem overwhelming now, but you're going to figure it out. There's engineering going on here. There's travel, there's moving on, there's moving forward and feeling much better about yourself. And feeling much more in control of your circumstance, of your situation. It's only burdensome right now, so take on the burden. Had to check on my dog because I wanted to make sure, because I know it's like her pee time, so I just want to make sure she's not doing it anywhere she shouldn't be doing it. Anyway, so all this burden, the universe is saying to you right now, answer, it is going to be worth it. The work that you put in now, what feels overwhelming now, it's going to set you up for having the wisdom and the experience and the capability, the capacity to move on, move forward, and get back to this, a sense of centeredness, a sense of stability, a sense of certainty in who you are, right? If you are working toward another earth sign, if you are involved in another earth sign, it is saying that if you put the work in now, or maybe somebody's putting the work in now for you, it will end up coming out to getting an offer, or them being there, or them having confidence in you, or realizing or recognizing, like it's, in other words, going back to them or going to them. Catching up to them, or I don't know if this is proving yourself to them. I'm not really sure. It is the future, so all of that can change. I like to come from the perspective of the self, and I know a lot of people like to watch these cards to see what the other person's thinking about, the other person's talking about, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, look at yourself. That's who I am, that's how I read. So all my readings are really about channeling your energy, the Virgo energy. That's all around you, that's impacting you, even if you're not a Virgo. And what this is setting you up for is to take on something that really is a lot. Maybe it's multiple things that you're taking on. And it's encouraging you to take them on now. Because what it's saying is, give it 6 weeks. Give it 6 weeks. I don't think it's 6 months, to be honest with you. Give it 6 weeks. You're going to start to see that you are happy that you made that investment, because you're going to feel confident in yourself. It's going to prove to you, I got this. I really figured this out. I've also come into a place where people know I'm good at this. People see my value and how much I'm worth, right? And it's earned me a level of status of people have confidence in me. People are certain about me. They want to work with me. They want to be around me. They're sure of me. And this could be, it's not even about them. It's about what it means to you, about you and who you are and what you're capable of. In some ways, it feels like you have to prove it to yourself. So go ahead and do it. Get on it. Do it. Take on whatever this is. It does feel heavy now, but it is offering you a beautiful new start. And I'm not a scientist, but I do remember chemistry class. And in a chemical reaction, the part of a chemical reaction that requires the most energy is the start, is the catalyst. So this is it. This is a sense of, I know I got to push hard. I know I got to put a lot of logs on the fire in the beginning. But then, it becomes a situation of where Virgos thrive, and that is maintenance and cultivation. You're not necessarily the great initiators. The great initiators of the earth signs are Capricorn. They're the cardinal sign. But this is you taking the hit up front, spending the energy. The universe saying, spend this energy, because it's going to bring you to a place of satisfaction, whether it is by getting what or who you want. That's great. But that doesn't matter as much as you proving to yourself that you could do it, that you're capable of it, and that now you've actually elevated yourself, even in your own eyes, and certainly in the eyes of everybody else, of now you're managing things. Now you're almost an authority figure, right? People know your value. They know your worth. And so do you. And so you kind of upped your status. And now, in the future, you're worth a hell of a lot more. And if things on the outside aren't working out for you, you've got many more options. So put the work in now. Do it. Take on this burden. It's actually more of an investment. Let's get a moon card. Ooh, this is interesting. This is Leo energy. Don't let pride get in your way. Okay. Well, that's a warning. A very good one. We have 2 fire signs. What did I tell you about energy? Fire shows up. This is all about the moon. So your feelings, those fiery emotions. Let your anger, let your aggression, let your pissed offness, or even your inspiration, let it push you forward. Use it. What I say, fuel this fire. Use your emotions, whatever you're feeling right now, to tackle and confront something. You will have to confront. You're going to have to acknowledge your emotions and confront it. There could be something confrontational that's here that will help move you forward. It's almost like fueling the boat, right? Right? Fueling the boat. And don't be afraid to confront. At some point, what you're going to have to do is say, I want this. I'm worth it. What are your expectations for me? These are my expectations for you. I'm going to direct this boat. You're not, because this is my life, right? You've got to take action, though. This is a sense of, you could be going somewhere. There could be travel involved. Don't let pride get in your way. That's going to be the most difficult part. when you get there and you feel good about yourself and you know all your shit, to not allow yourself to get to a point where you become the know-it-all who lords themselves over people or who makes excuses based on very practical reasons, right? This is just a sense of you're not going to arrive where you want to arrive if you let your pride and your anger take over you. You will if you use them as fuel to direct you. And that means being humble and honest and transparent. Being humble and honest and transparent is the difference between elevating and descending deeper. It's all how you use what you're going through. So, we're going to use these cards. It's interesting. Why do I usually... Oh. No, I want to take these. All right. Oh, sorry, guys. Let's get an angel message. First, let's get this. What's this all about? Yin, receive, open yourself up, be receptive. That's interesting. It's almost like it's a burden for you to receive. Maybe that's the greatest burden. Happy birthday, Doug Denny. It's a burden for you to receive. You've been defensive, you've been protective, and you have an inkling to run away from receiving. That's a twist I did not expect. But it's not about me. It's about the message. That's the burden. There's something here that you know that you have to allow in. And there is some sort of defensiveness here that may be you blocking. And that's the challenge of your block. That's the pride. And it's humility and transparency that combats pride. Let's get an angel message. Unnecessary worries. Well, ain't that a Virgo message? Okay, let's see. Release the burden of worries by giving them to God for healing and solutions. Citrine. Citrine is a pretty popular... Now, I'm not a specialist in crystals at all. But I go into a lot of spirituality shops and they always have citrine. So you have it in jewelry form. They have it in just rock. So whenever this card comes out, it's like any of these cards, citrine is pretty easy to come by. You know, if this was diamonds, you may or may not have them. There's a little more expensive. Citrine, not so expensive. I think you can go in and get it. Go in and grab it. It might help you really channel your vitality. Citrine is known to encourage vitality. Release the burden of worries by giving them to God for healing and solutions. Because that's the pride, right? Your worries seem like intellect. And this is what Virgos will do to other people and themselves all the time, is you will use your intellect to justify your fears. And that's pride. And that gets in your way and it makes you stuck. And so what the universe is coming through this message is saying very clearly, take all those worries that you're feeling and saying, I'm not going to solve for those. I'm going to let the divine solve for those. Right? And I'm going to trust my path forward. Even though there are obstacles, even though there are challenges, I'm not going to sit here and think that those are reasons to not do this, because it's worth it. And it's going to bring me to a place where I'm more in control of my life than I am now. Because I'm going to show myself that I can. Instead of finding a way out of it, which is really just circumnavigating the inevitable and the necessary. Let's go and talk more over in the extended. We'll see. Link is down below.